Now let's talk about Aliyah and the journey home, and also what is being done in that same spirit of Aliyah and the journey home. I'm honored to invite to the stage Tony Gelbart and Rabbi Yehoshua Fass, founders of Nefesh'B, and another chair, please.
For over 2 assisted over 80,000 Olim in making Israel their home. Along with personalized Aliyah facilitation, Nefesh'B offers a robust array of post-Aliyah services, all to ensure successful integration into Israeli society. For over 2 decades, Nefesh'B has and will continue its mission to facilitate, advocate, educate, and celebrate the miracle of the Jewish state and Aliyah, and we are excited by the promising future of connecting tens of thousands more to our homeland.
Shalom, Tony, Rabbi Fass.
How are you?
How many years already?
2002 July was our first flight.
Wow. I can't forget those days.
Yeah.
And you know what? In the beginning, I was sobbing. We all were crying. But what's amazing is that we continue, right? Every time it's inspiring. And we're talking today about this ruach, this spirit. And when did you guys understand that this spirit of Aliyah is something that is amazing when it comes to bringing the people home, bringing our brothers and sisters home? But there's so much more to do with exactly this same spirit, and you define it now as the 4 pillars of Nefesh'B.
Right.
I think every single time, we still, after 22 years, every single time a plane lands and a door opens, it's majestic, it's miraculous, whether or not it's a 9-year-old girl, a 19-year-old person going to the army, or a 90-year-old retiree. Every single fulfillment of kibbutz galuyot, of the ingathering of Jews, is still a pinch-me kind of moment for us. And I think around 10 years ago, we realized that the spirit and the professionalism and the ideological drive that each Oleh brings is not just a fulfillment of their own personal dreams, but it can be a catalyst of real growth for Israel. And it can build either communities or industries. And that spirit is something that needs to be leveraged.
Right. It's also contagious. Like sometimes the Israelis who say, "Ma, lama asitem et ze? Why did you do it?" And it's like contagious, that spirit.
They always ask that question, but they are always very, very encouraging and thankful and happy that the person makes Aliyah. Mm-hmm. And it's a, after that 10-year period, we see that, and even before that, it's not just those people are making Aliyah, but their parents come after them, and their sisters and brothers follow them also. So then you have a big wellspring of just great people moving to Israel.
So practically speaking, how does it look? How does this new, you're saying it's 10 years, but how does this system look? 4 pillars of this ruach, of the spirit of Aliyah.
So we've pivoted or evolved or grew to a point that Nefesh has become a solution peddler to some national issues. So there's Aliyah facilitation, which is our core value, which is in our partnership with the Jewish Agency and Meyased Aliyah B'Lekita. You just heard from Avichai Kahana a few minutes ago. We also have a pillar of national service. We have a signed contract with the IDF that we're responsible for all lone soldiers. That's around 3,300 lone soldiers at any one time in the Army from over 70 countries. And we have programs for Beno Shirut Bodedot, lone national service, young women. A 3rd column is national development, of helping either build a periphery and also bring physicians from around the world. And the last is to inspire the next generation, and that is education, a Zionist education initiative. And those 4 pillars are organizations in their own right, with huge staff and its own budget and their own metrics of success.
Now, when the ministry is called Aliyah V'Klita, immigration and absorption, integration, right. And you're also about that as well. It's not about just bringing them home. We're talking about 85,000 North American Olim to integrate into Israeli society. It's about that. We can't just bring them to the passport, section of the airport.
No. So here's the bottom line, because as a businessman, it's very simple. Success breeds success. If the first people are happy, they'll continue to bring other people. So it's not just about getting on the plane. It's way before that. It's all the pre-Aliyah, and then once they land, it's the post-Aliyah. How do they go to the right schools? How do they get right jobs? How do we get them to the right places for their families to live? So that's what we do.
Now, we talked about what's happening following the war, and what some see as surprising, but, as we understand what's going on, it's not really surprising, the fact that when things are tough and there's a challenge, people want to be together as a family and want to make Aliyah. So you presented the statistics of people being interested in Aliyah. A year and a half after the war, what can you tell us about how this is coming into fruition?
We're seeing it now being actualized. We'll know better in the next few months. But I think after October 7th, it concretized this very visceral connection of diaspora Jewry to Israel. There's no longer this gray area. And that is expressed in many different ways. And for those who are sitting on the fence for years about Aliyah, we've seen them really commit to make that move.
Sure, there's also a shortage of doctors in Israel. We hear about it for years. But we see around the world, physicians and PAs are moving their entire families and coming to Israel to help. That's unity, that's spirit, that's something you don't see anywhere.
Is it become easier also to say it out clear and not be politically correct? I mean, we had a meeting with one of the communities here, and we said, are we allowed to talk about Aliyah in your community? They said, yeah, talk about Aliyah. Is that changed?
It's not a dirty
100%.
word anymore.
Exactly.
Not a dirty word.
Yeah, we used to be whatever.
Careful.
We used to be very careful, and certain communities were very sensitive about that word, which is crazy. But nowadays, it's part of the Jewish map and an option for many families.
And in terms of what you're seeing, what your vision is in terms of Aliyah, it's more and more Olim, living in communities, living in different communities, or there's no ideal in terms of that. Periphery, of course, you're focused.
North, the south, Yerushalayim, Tel Aviv, wherever they feel comfortable and where we can help them, they'll go.
Just one last word. You mentioned the lone soldiers, very special, very challenging, but you see how much it affects them, right? If it's a Yom Sidurim, taking care of what they need, accompanying them.
I'll give you an example. Just trying to identify what a soldier might need, or the families of soldiers. During the war, after October 7th, we launched this project called Operation Hug. And we flew over 1,300 moms and dads from over 30 countries just to give an embrace to their soldier in combat, their son or daughter who was in combat. And that, for the parent, it gave them strength. For their son or daughter in active combat, it re-inspired them, and it reduced some of the stress. These are just different elements of how we can care for the lone soldier.
Can you imagine a young daughter, a young son, leaving the family behind, deciding to make Aliyah, and because they're, say, 18, 19, 20, they joined the army. At that point, we say, wait a second, we're helping you. You're a lone soldier, you're a Chayil Boded, we're going to help you all the way through your army service and beyond.
Amazing and inspiring from the
Thank you so much,
Aliyah
Yoni.
through what we talked about today. Rabbi Yehoshua Fass, Tony Gelbart, founders of Nefesh B'Nefesh. Thank you very much.
Thank you.